And then they had to go right into the main event. Page and Ospreay and Hobbs and Shapoopy versus the Hardley Boys, Claudio and the Boozer himself. It's the same thing I was dealing with 15 years ago. Mark booking. Let's load everybody and all the top matches up in multiple tag team matches. Last week, when we read the agent reports, it was a 20-man gauntlet match in a cage to promote the upcoming pay-per-view where they were going to have a 20-man match and nobody was going to be in a cage. And that's what you're supposed to pay for. People just stare now when the Buckaroos come out. It's like they're putting up with it, as everybody apparently is. They finally, again, you would think if they're going to have baby faces kick anybody's ass, instead of having a Saturday morning cartoon reject who's also the world's biggest fucking nerd kick the shit out of two legitimate, internationally known athletes, you'd think maybe Hobbs could be a babyface, could kick some ass, right? He got powerbombed through a table. He was a non-figure in the finish, and then Moxley choked out Shapoopy and Bell. And then we get the afterbirth, but before that, what? Again, even their own fans have to be sick of this fucking balding, boring bumpkin just choking everybody out like he's goddamn Hoist Gracie, don't they?
I think the AEW fans have been ready for a Moxley replacement, a Death Riders replacement for a while.
Pac is the smart one. He got hurt and got the fuck out of there. All right, so then after they beat the baby faces, then they start beating them up some more. And here comes Wheeler, and here comes Gabe Kidd. And I don't really know what they were going to do. Moxley got a logging chain, and the heels were getting some sloppy, fake-looking heat, and it looked like maybe he was going to do something with the chain. But then the Buckaroos pull out plastic bags, and they shake them out and tease that they're going to put the bags over the babyfaces' heads. But suddenly, on the screen, there's Swerve, a close-up of Swerve sitting on, looks like maybe a bulldozer, a forklift or something, but it's a close-up. And he's doing a promo kind of calmly. And they just all stopped what they were doing, and nobody even tried to get away or anything while they're listening to Swerve. Calmly cuts the promo, and then the camera pulls out, and he's on one of those earth digger machines. And he's in front of the Buckaroos stretch limo that they've pulled up in at the beginning of the night. And I swear to God, somebody's been boning up on their 1999 Steve Austin. They had the fucking earth moving machine flatten the limousine. Brian, how much fucking money do you think that shot cost to do absolutely nothing? Nothing. Didn't change one goddamn ticket being bought.
I actually don't know.
It was just marks being able to do a spot from their favorite television show when they were kids.
Well, that's what a lot of this is. It's like Attitude Era for kids. That's what it is. They established they had a limo, a week ago? And they drove it here to this town so they could do this? It's bad comedy. It's again, they stopped the beatdown to watch the video, but that happens everywhere. You can't really blame just these guys for it. Everyone does that, but...
Well, then the Bucks run to the back, and they're shooting them seeing the limousine and having a big fake flip out about it that you can tell they're not really upset, and they're not even trying. Well, in the arena, the fight is continuing. And Joe and the other baby faces were at it. They made a big comeback, and Ospreay did a fucking flip. And they kept going with the fight. And then Page and Moxley ended up standing and looking at each other in the middle of the ring, and they just stood there and looked at each other forever until I guess Schaefer remembered, oh shit. And she ran and grabbed Moxley and pulled him out. And then after that, we go back to the parking lot, and there again, the mayors of Munchkinland are standing in front of their limousine and all pissed off and everything and faking being mad. And then they look to their left, camera right, and Swerve jumped off the Earth Digger and gave him a double stomp. Like they couldn't see this motherfucker 10 feet away from them.
Did you hear what they said when they got out there? They go, oh, look at the limo. We'll be financially ruined. What?
Yeah. They can't even try. They can't even try. So, yeah, this promotes, what are these matches again?
Anarchy in the arena. No, they just did that.
But they tell you 15 times during the course of the show what all the matches are, but because they tell you what all the matches are for every goddamn show, and then you have multiple man shit like this, what the fuck is going on?
I think it's Moxley versus Page, Bucks versus Ospreay and Swerve, maybe the Opps versus Gabe Kidd and the BCC friend, or not BCC, Death Riders.
And the three teams... in the
that one that'll be a big plus surprises. I mean, who knows? Maybe Sting will come down from the rafters.
Last week we talked about the Von Erichs, and somebody just tweeted out today. I wonder if the Von Erichs, apparently they have a title in Ring of Honor. The Von Erichs have some kind of belts in Ring of Honor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They haven't been advertised for this show in Dallas, Texas. Kevin, they just put out on the internet, Kevin signed some kind of Legends deal like a week or so ago with AEW. They haven't announced Kevin Von Erich will be in Dallas, Texas. What do you want to bet he's a surprise?
To himself.
They got an 80,000 seat stadium, but it's set up for 25,000. So if they sell 2,500 more tickets, they'll be sold out.
I wouldn't just book them. I'd say invite your friends.
Exactly. And his friends would sell more tickets. Goddamn, advertise Brian Adidas is going to show up.
Well, anyhow, AEW Dynamite, another banner episode of AEW Dynamite. And of course, that was the go-home show for the big pay-per-view extravaganza coming up this weekend as we are recording, all in Texas.